What is up, everybody? I realize this video is super late and I do apologize. That being said, I was on vacation when the Barrie Game Exchange happened, and it just took me a little while to get back and get into the swing of things and finally settle down to make a video. So, of course, I kind of gave it away. I went to the Barrie Game Exchange. A lot of people did, and I met up with a bunch of great YouTubers there. I'm sure you've seen a ton of their videos already, so hopefully you don't mind one from me. I got a lot of games, and I'm going to share them with you guys. So here we go. So if you don't know, Barrie Game Exchange is put on by Chris Nintendo Hodge here on YouTube. You should definitely go check out his channel. He's a great guy, and he's a wonderful supporter of the retro community here on YouTube and in real life, obviously, seeing as he's putting on a show. Like I said, I was on vacation, and I didn't know I was going to be able to make it until the day of, so I basically convinced my family to let me go away for a couple hours, basically for the day, and I took off. It was about a 2 hours journey away from where I was, so it took me a while to get there, but when I did, I got there, I guess, shortly after the general population got in, and before I even got in through the doors, I had just paid my $5 admission, and I was just walking towards the door, and I hear, "Josh, wait up!" And I look to my side, and sure enough, there's Chris Nintendo Hodge looking at me from a room, and he comes over, he's like, "Hey, here you go, I meant to give these to you before, and I completely forgot. I found these, and these are yours." And I was like, "Sweet!" And he handed me a bunch of manuals for Game Gear games. We did a trade at the Waterloo Video Game Swap, and these are the games from that. So thank you very much, dude. These are very much appreciated. I don't have a lot of the manuals I had when I was a kid. So I'm definitely happy to get these back, or some of these. I had a few of these, but not all of them, so great to have those and add them to my collection. As many of you know, I'm going for a complete Game Gear collection, not complete in a box or anything, but anyways, we'll be getting into the Game Gear games near the end of the video, because that's kind of my main focus at this point. Now, these games aren't in any particular order, so I hope they make some kind of sense. This was just kind of not a game, but basically a box from Derek of Two Dorks. He already had the game. He already had the box and manual. He just needed the game, and so he bought this off of Miles and Catherine from Block of Nerds, and he said he didn't need the box. So I said I would take it, and I actually don't have the box for this. I only have it loose, so that will be a great addition to my collection. So thank you very much, Derek. Block of Nerds was in the house, and of course they were awesome as usual. I even did an interview for their channel. You can check up here. Click on that video and it'll link to their video. And I gave them an exclusive interview. You're not going to see that anywhere else. I'm not going to post it on my channel. It's only going to be theirs. And I dropped a bit of a personal bombshell on him. I think a lot of people knew it already. But anyways, it's really cool to have an interview about it. So definitely go check out that video and go subscribe to Block of Nerds for shizzle. I already had a pre-arranged trade with Miles. He was asking me about stuff about the swaps and tradings and video games exchanges. He had never been a seller before, and I've had a little bit of experience as a vendor. So he was referring to me and to Canadian Retro as well about, you know, what do I need to look for, what do I need to watch for, and we were kind of giving him some tips and pointers. So he sent me a picture of some of the stuff he had, and I was like, oh, I need a couple of those things, so I picked them out, and we worked out a trade. So what I actually wanted for trade was this. It's Super Mario Bros. U. It's the Mario Bros. U and Luigi U combo pack. I need this because I'm running out of room on my Wii U shelf, and if I can eliminate one game out of it, then totally possible. I have both these games already, but again, combo packs are king. And really happy to grab that. And then I also said I was interested in this, and he said I could just have it for free. So thank you very much again, Miles. That is Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. My Dreamcast collection is abysmal. If you've ever seen my Sega collection video, you'll see my Sega Dreamcast is pretty terrible. I think I only have like 4 games. I have 5 or 6 now. This is probably 7 or 8. I don't even know. Really bad. So thank you very much, Miles, for adding to my collection. And then later on, I was swinging by their table and I saw this, and this is in one of those videos that I've seen from people who saying this game is actually quite hard to find, or difficult to find. It's not worth a whole lot, but it's just hard to find. And I saw he had it on the table. I was like, ooh, I am interested in that. And he and Catherine were telling me about it, and it looked great. They didn't have to convince me. I already wanted the game, but it was great to hear their opinions of it. We're really, really happy to get this. It's Help Wanted on the Wii, 50 Wacky Jobs, and it's by that Hudson. You see that Hudson logo? That's gold right there. So he gave me a phenomenal deal on it. I couldn't say no. So thank you very much again, Miles and Catherine, Flock of Nerds. Like I said, go check out their channel. I will leave a link to their channel down in the description, or you can rewind back to the video and click on that as well. This next pickup was from CJR, who was also there. This was near the end of the day. I'm really trying to get more compilation discs. I want to make a video about all the different collections and compilation discs that I have in my collection. So I'm kind of looking to see what I can find, especially on the cheap. So this is what I've been looking for. It's Capcom Classics Collection. This is volume 1. This is a lot of their 8-bit stuff, shooters and stuff like that, fighters, a few 16-bit games in there as well. But as far as I know, it's mostly 8-bit stuff. This is not the one to have. I've actually been looking for Capcom Collection, or yeah, Classics Collection Volume 2. I figured that's the best one to have. But I did not see it at the show at all, and if someone had it there, I missed it completely. So anyways, CGR gave me the hookup on that, so thank you very much, dude. And I also picked up this. This was, I actually didn't find this. Canadian Retro found it. Canadian Retro was really funny. He was like, he wasn't sure what he wanted, but he was like my little, my hunting dog. He basically ran around and found all the compilation discs. Like, here, dude, I found this. Oh, Josh, come here, I found this. Oh, I found this. And I was like, ah, money, 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 money. So, anyways, picked this up really, really cheap, and it is Tecmo Classic Arcade on the Xbox. I saw this going on tables for like $20 to $30, and I was like, I can't spend that. I don't even know if that's what it's worth. Anyways, this guy had it under his table, in a box under his table for $5, so I picked it out of there after Canadian Retro found it for me. So thank you very much, Canadian Retro, for being my little guide dog. And that was really sweet. This next deal was pretty amazing, mostly because I found games for my wife. She sent me on a quest to basically find one game for her that she played as a kid, and of course I'm going to do my best to do that for her. The first one that I found, actually this is the one that she wanted. I'll do it in the order that I found it. I saw this sitting in a corner of a table in a box, and I was talking with J-Rock the Game Rocker, who was also there. So J-Rock, also a cool guy, check him out. Anyone I mention, the links will be down in the description. Go and check them out. So I was talking to J-Rock. I think this was one of J-Rock's buddies. He definitely knew the guy anyway. And I saw this kind of sitting back there. I was like, oh, and I kind of picked it up and looked at it, and I was like, how much? And the guy literally just did this. What does this mean? Piece? Does it mean $2? Does it mean $20? Does it mean $200? What does this mean? So I was like, I kind of gave him that, I don't know what you mean by that. And he's like, $2. $2? What? $2? Okay, yeah. And I couldn't get the tuning out of my pocket fast enough. And that is Descent on the PlayStation. This is the long box version. My wife said that she played this game a lot back in the day on her PC. She said her and her brothers would fight over the computer to see who could play this game and who could do the best. Apparently there were claims of it being beat, but no proof was actually given. So who knows about that. Anyways, really happy to grab this, especially for her. It is super minty and super complete, even with the little foam and everything. Super nice, and the manual. So I'm really happy to get that for her. And then I saw this one sitting up beside it. I was like, oh, is that one $2 too? And he's like, yeah. Fished out another tuning. Here you go. Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition. I'm not huge into Bust a Move games, but like I said, it's a long box, and I'm trying to find games for my wife. This will be great. It's a great little like puzzle game, basically. It's pretty fun though. I do enjoy some Bust a Moves, but it's just not like one of those games I just have a hankering to play and have to play it over and over and over. But anyways, really cool. Also complete, just no styrofoam. Everything is there. So thank you very much for the hookup. So now we get into some interesting stuff. Here I'm going to prove that even though you're going to expos and you're going to game exchanges and all these great things where there's a ton of video games, there's a ton of sellers, where everyone in theory should know their prices, they should know what stuff is, there are still deals to be had. There are still people going to be slipping on stuff and not going to know what they have. So first up, I saw this game and a stack of PS2 games. It is one that I've wanted. It's part of the survival series on the PS2 that I've started. And I wanted the second one, and that is Raw Danger on the PS2. So I'll pick that up. The guy had $12 sticker price on it. I was more than happy to pay $12, and I think I even got away better than that. And I will tell you that why in a second. Anyways, this is, of course, complete, very nice condition. And then I was looking through a bunch of his Xbox games, and I saw a name that I was very familiar with, and it had no price on it. So I was kind of curious. So I picked it up, and I was like, how much for this? He said, $5. And I was like, would you add this and this game and you do 15 for both? And he was like, yep, totally will do that. So in actual fact, I only paid like $10 for this. And the other game that I picked up, and this is, I swear guys, this is ridiculous. Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast on the original Xbox. What a freaking surprise. Like I said, people don't know this game is worth a lot of money, and no one knows about it. It's worth, look it up on eBay right now. Pause the video, go check out eBay, check out sold listings. It's ridiculous. So it doesn't have the green case, it is in a generic Blockbuster case, but it has the manual and the game and everything like that. I already have this game, but for $5 I couldn't leave it there. I know someone who's looking for it, and so I'd be happy to hand it off to him when they decide they want it. And but I obviously needed the manual for mine. The one I bought way back. I think it was like the second Waterloo video game swap. I found it in a bin for $2, so I picked it up. I also found it in a on PS2 in a dollar bin. So I've got an Xbox and a PS2 copy. I got again for $5. Couldn't leave it there. The copy that I had, the disc art has like a ring around it. It still plays and everything. It just looks like it rubbed when someone had something in there. I don't really understand how it happened. And I obviously didn't have the manual. So I basically just bought this with a manual. I've already pulled the manual out and put it in my copy. So this is just incomplete, and I got to wait till I find somebody to give that to. Anyways, long story short, look in bins. People don't know what they have sometimes, and you just gotta look for the deals. There they are. So, on to the Game Gear games. If you just wanted to see the console stuff, there you go. If you don't care about Game Gear games, feel free to move on. I am obviously trying to get a complete Game Gear collection, Game Gear games. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Mostly because Game Gear games are not that easy to come by, and a lot of people think they're quite expensive. They're like, oh, a lot of people looking for Game Gear games. I didn't believe that for a second. So I basically had to go in there and kind of wheel and deal as best I could. I knocked a bunch of people down. I don't remember exactly what I paid for everything. Probably around the $60 mark for all of these games from various vendors, I guess. So first we're going to start with some really boring stuff. Solitaire Poker, Leaderboard Golf, FIFA Soccer. There's a lot of soccer games on the Game Gear. How stupid is that? World Cup USA '94, Ayrton Senna Super Monaco GP2. I have the first one, didn't have the second one. Didn't know there was a second one. Clutch Hitter, that might be interesting to try. I do like baseball games on the Game Gear, so I'll have to try that one out. It might actually end up being really good. I'll use this one. Battleship. That one actually has a sticker, $5. Didn't pay $5 for it though. GP Rider. I'll have to try that one out too. Motorcycles and all that. This one. Super Off-Road. That one could be good. Super Columns. That's a fairly generic game. Mrs. Pac-Man. Also fairly generic, I'll say. This one is pretty cool. I haven't seen this one before until the very game has changed. Virtua Fighter Animation. Be interesting to play a fighting game on the Game Gear. I'm not exactly sure how that works with 2 buttons. What is this? Super Battle Tank. Obviously didn't have that. Really, really cool. There was one here. I was talking with someone, and it might have been one of the sports games. But we also have this Ren Hawk and Stimpy Quest for the Shaven Yak. I already have this. I was talking to somebody near the end of the show, and I came back with a bunch of Game Gear games, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking for Game Gear games?" and he reached into his bag and he pulled 2 out and he just gave them to me. I was like, oh, how much do you, I was like, oh, I already have this one. He's like, oh, just take it. I'm like, how much do you want for him? He's like, don't worry about it. And he just, this is a complete stranger. I've never met this person before in my life. Actually, that's not true. I've seen him. He was a vendor at the KW video game swap. So I might have said hi to him there. Maybe he knew me from there. But like I said, didn't really talk to him. And but he was generous enough just to hand over some games to me and like, here you go. If you're going for a complete set, I'm glad I can help. So that's a double. Anyway, Riddick Bow Boxing Extreme. Don't know anything about that. This was one of the first ones I bought. I remember that. Lemmings. Lemmings is a fun game back. Well, I don't know how it is on Game Gear, but it was fun back in the day. Bugs Bunny Double Trouble. This one I couldn't remember if I have or not, and I haven't checked it yet. But I don't think I do have this one. I don't think I have that one. WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge. Or WrestleMania if you're into wrestling. There you go. Another generic NHL hockey. No one cares about that. Now we're going to get into some good stuff. How random is this that I didn't have the first Sonic the Hedgehog? I was going through my list and I was like, how do I not have the first Sonic? I don't know. Picked it up. Vampire Monster of Darkness. Didn't have that one. Revenge of Drancon. I don't know how to say that. If you know, let me know. Also, if you know anything about these games, please be sure to let me know in the comments so I can be more knowledgeable about a system I'm playing before. I'm pretty knowledgeable, but not completely. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That one's really cool. And the heavy hitter, the one that I didn't know was actually worth a lot of money, was Sonic Labyrinth. Apparently it is worth quite a bit. I feel like I did get a pretty good deal on it. I think I probably got it for about 15 bucks, which is apparently really, really good. It goes for about 30 Canadian. So that is all my pickups and from the Barrie video games off. Barrie Game Exchange, there's too many of these things. I gotta keep them all straightened up in my head. And I really want to give a huge shout out to Nintendo Hodge, Chris. Thank you very much, dude, for putting on an awesome show, and especially in a place where there isn't a whole lot of video game stuff happening already. And it's great to be like a first one in the market. If you weren't able to go to the Barrie Game Exchange, you have to make sure you make an effort to come out to the next one. If you're anywhere, even if you're 5 hours away, it's probably worth your time if you're into video game collecting. That being said, there are a lot of video game swaps and conventions happening, and just go out and look in your area and find one. Meet up with a bunch of YouTubers and talk to people and hang out and buy stuff and just gel as a community. It's a really, really fun time. A bunch of people I want to thank, so I'm going to run through the list here. J-Rock the Game Rocker, Canadian Retro, The Flock of Nerds, Party Play Gaming, Two Dorks, CJR, Gamer Alley VT, Nintendo Hodge, obviously, SDC Podcast, Buried on Mars. I can't even remember everybody that was there. I think that's everyone that I spoke with. Anyways, check out all those guys. I'll put as many links down in the description as I can. And if you can't make it out to the next one, be sure to come to the Waterloo Video Game Swap coming up in the end of September. And I will hopefully see you all guys there as well. Anyways, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.